Hello, hello. Welcome everybody to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in CFRL Tier 1. George, I see you're here. His ban has been lifted for this race. Greetings, Mesa. And a quick note beforehand. We're on 49 followers. We need one more. We hit 50. And because now we do 2 tiers, we should be able to get affiliate, and we should be able to start making some money. So yeah, it's gonna be good. Who are we waiting for? I don't know. I'll have a quick look-see. I don't know why I said look-see. Right, both Red Bulls, yes. Aston Martin, yes. Okay, Alpine, yes. Red Bull, yes. AlphaTauri, yes. Aston Martin, yes. Ferrari. We don't have a Ferrari. Merc, yeah. Yeah, McLaren. We're missing a Ferrari and a McLaren, I believe. Can I? What are we doing? Right, hold on. I need. Yeah, go on then. Why not? Why not? We'll do that. Ah, Dan. What a big man. Dan Monster is back. Well, not racing because he kicked everyone's backsides in. But greetings. I thought you'd be just leave this league and forget about it, but you obviously haven't. We thank you for that. I say on behalf of the entire staff team, thank you for coming to watch tonight and to be our follower number 50. Absolute big man. That's follow number 50. I'm not going to be able to see chat for a minute because I'm just going to check something. Will I be able to... I'm trying to find where it is now. No. I'm trying to find where it is. Is it in here? No. I don't know. I'll figure that out later. But for now, we are... we are about to get going here at Imola. I can't remember what the actual name of the track is because it was only a last minute change that I managed to actually get in here. I had too much homework that I unfortunately wasn't able to make my rugby training, so I was able to do this. And just quickly before we get into qualifying today, if you are a SkyQ or Skyglass customer, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I will remember at one point to put VODs up on there. But I'm a busy guy. No. Imola track. This is how last minute it was. Yeah, Mesa is. Mesa, after winning the shambles known as the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, went from basically last to first and won the race. Birthday, oh, was your birth? Yeah, hopefully birthday will be coming with you. I think I did say happy birthday to you, Alan. If I didn't, I apologise. But hopefully I did. That was 2 days ago. Okay, I think I did then. But happy birthday anyway, if I hadn't already. Right. Before we get on to qualifying... Oh, okay. Okay, cool. I am going to... Qualifying is now underway. We have 19. We are missing a Ferrari. I don't know if we're missing a Ferrari. Well, I don't know whether we were supposed to. I'm trying to find some facts. And here we are. Here's some fast facts off a website. Because here we are. Is it completely dry? Was there a chance of... Oh yeah, it's Italy. There's going to be a chance of rain in there. That is an AlphaTauri. Not on wet. And there's a McLaren. That better be Colt coming out the pits on dry tyres. I'm not going to know for a while because... It is Colt. You're to be watched again. Right. Well, I've got the facts now. I will leave it. I'll leave it for now. So let's get some. If I don't kick my wheel, don't need about that. Temperature's fine. Lap data enabled. Track map. Full track map. Everyone and their mother are coming out on track. Right, yeah, fastest lap, or do I want to do... As someone has spun, that is an Alfa Romeo. Please, if this is the way I get to see him. Yeah, it was Alan. If he spun, and and he got watched because he spun on his outlapping qualifying, that'll be quite funny. And he is back. Right, have I got anything? Gap to fastest lap. Okay, we'll go gap because we don't care about lap times unless it's the pole one. Who's first? It was a McLaren. That is Carol. Carol's all the way down here. Oh, Carol's going into the pits. Right, so now I have to go all the way... Oh, I can do this to Colt. But it's a... Let me pretend that I don't know what's going on. Colt is just really slow. I don't want to go... They just looked really slow for them. Crazy Benny was the first one to cross the line, so we're going to follow him. Fast first sector. 6th gear as you come around there. Car getting out of the way. Into 6th gear. Into 5th and maybe 4th, depending on the driver. 24/7 overall. Into 2nd gear. This is tight left-hander as we've got someone who spun. We've got an Alpha and we've got a Merc, that looks like. And there's another yellow flag, so as long as the Alpha is still there. Yeah, for Aquamilarali, very nice. It's up towards the chicane now. 2nd gear. Going down to 2nd gear, halfway through the chicane. Now full throttle. Going down towards... the penultimate, very last penultimate corners. 4th gear, down towards the line. Let's have a look at what it's going to be. It's going to start with 1:17.4. See it going faster with a 1:17.382. As everyone's putting in lap times. George now about to cross the line here. It is a 1:16.9. But then Fade with a 1:16.3 puts it on par. Wow. Both Williams putting in astonishing laps to go at least 4/10 ahead of the car in front. Emilio getting closest to the Williams pair. As we will follow Toby, who's about to finish his lap here. It's a 1:17.1. Goes into P4. We will go down towards Jacob here. We're going to follow Jacob in the Red Bull here. 4th gear, holding 4th gear through here. It's now full throttle towards the line. DRS open now. It's a 17.2, puts him in P5. Still 9/10 behind Fade here. Here we go, strikes in the other Red Bull, reserving for James. Loan to Red Bull from AlphaTauri. His debut race in tier 1. Tier 1, I should say. But he's coming into pits. He puts in his banker lap, and I think that was like a 121.7. Zach goes into P2 with a 116.8. 5 tenths now. The gap slowly going down. Colt puts in a better lap now. Still 1.6 seconds down from the rest of them. We have still got Spray on a lap, starting his flying lap. We're going to watch him. That's the wrong thing I wanted. We're going to see with telemetry. He doesn't have a lot of energy left, so I don't know. Maybe he forgot to conserve, but he's gone very, very wide, and the lap time has invalidated. You see Mesa on a set of mediums. Mesa with all the weird qualifying strategies here. Or maybe he prefers mediums. And here, 52 deads overall. Full throttle towards the line here. Almost out of battery. Second gear. And slows down. Maybe coming into the pits. Maybe a mistake on that lap. Didn't want it. Okay. Carroll on his outlap now. But we've got Rainbow Fox coming to the pit lane now. Both McLarens have not set a lap yet. Dom is about to start his, but his lap time has been invalidated before he even starts. So he's got to come right in, hasn't he? No, he's still going. Has he seen his lap time's been invalidated? No. Oh, it hasn't been invalidated now. Fine. Fade's on his lap for his second lap. Zach, I've just seen, is less than a tenth out off Fade here. So there's going to be a battle for pole here. Strokes just before. Oh! Dom's out of qualifying. Spinning in the first sector. Taking the curve too aggressively. And he is out of qualifying. Carroll gets through the first section just fine in the other McLaren. We'll follow him for the rest of this lap. We'll see how he does. A bit wide through there. You probably want to try and be getting as close to the curb as you can. Through Minerali now. Make sure you don't go off the track there. I think that's an Alpine getting out of the way. 52.9 for the middle sector here. Toby and the other Alpine 4 tenths off here. The 116s are coming very thick and fast here. I've heard rumours that people have entered the 115s. I don't know how true that will be in qualifying, whether that will show. Carroll comes to cross the line. It's a 119.2, puts him in P14. We'll follow the Red Bull of Struggs here. This is going to be a full lap here. And taking the curb very, very nicely. Wow. You know he does this. What lines through there? He's a tenth up on his first sector time here. But I think it was probably through here he just made a bit of an error and just finished the lap anyway. So here we are. Oh, he makes a mistake there. His back end steps out on him, but I don't think that'll hinder him too much. Maybe lose a tenth or two through there. A bit wide through Minerali. Towards the chicane we go. It's a 50.6. So it was that middle sector he made that mistake. But this looks fast. He's going to be a challenger for poles. Richard goes into P3 for Aston Martin. There's the pace we saw from him before in last season. For Aston Martin and Mercedes last season. Permanently with Aston Martin now. It's a 16 dead! Struggs goes on to provisional pole, 2.5 tenths ahead of Fade, but Fade is now starting his lap here. I don't know whether he started his lap or just hasn't improved, but Struggs has put a storming lap in. I believe. We'll follow Emilio through here. Emilio about to start his flying lap here. Or has started it. Hopefully that Alpine gets out the way. He does. so we can get into the turns 1 and 2 very nicely indeed. 6th gear through turn 3. Make sure you hit that curb. We'll help you through here. 5th gear through there, now towards the hairpin. 5 tenths up on his best time here. He might challenge for the top 5 here. As I think someone moved ahead. I don't know. But Emilio's time is tidy for the moment. Towards Aqua Minerale we go. Again, very nice and tidy. Again, 5th gear. Me personally, I'd go through it in 3rd gear. Yeah, I'd say there would be a lot of invalidations in the chicane, yeah. As Emilio has invalidated, I might be on the chicane because I did look away and I looked back and it's been invalidated as he's going through the chicane. So that's unfortunate for Emilio. He was on for a good lap there. As we still got 2 cars left to go in, put a lap in. As we have Jimby Slims in the Haas on a lap. Let's see what the mobile chicane can do. I'm still making that joke because of 2021, but I mean it was a mobile chicane, the Haas at that in 2021. It was less of a mobile chicane. That goes to Williams, but this season, but last season. 16.7 puts him in P5. Than that mobile chicane doing him treats for the moment. But the top 4 separated by 6, or top 3 separated by 3 tenths of a second. There might be a lot there. Who's on a lap? Harry was on a lap. Zink's on a lap here in the other half. But is Colt on a lap? Colt's on a lap. Alan's also on a lap. Spray is a 10th up on his best time. But he is invalidated. Mesa is just, I don't think, qualifying at all. Mesa did a lap on the mediums and decided, yeah, you know what, I'm just not gonna race. I'm not gonna do anything. Spray's come into the pits. That's Spray in the pits there. Watching him get jacked up. Alan, half a tenth up in the first sector towards his personal best. He's 2 seconds off Strug's time here. He's got a 1:18. Well, to be fair, Mesa did do it last in last race. Did go from 18th to 1st. There was a full grid, but out of the ones that qualified, Mesa was plumb last, qualifying on the wet tyres. In dry conditions. Alan is also invalidated, I've just realised. Let's have a look. Who is on a good lap? No one really. He's too far behind. You're on a... yeah, they're all lot coming out. We'll follow the Mercedes of Rainbow Fox, who's yet to set a lap time. We've got 4 minutes left of qualifying, so people probably going to be putting in their last laps now. I didn't see his first sector time here. But 11 viewers I see in chat right now, so thank you so much, especially if you are not driving. Zach comes out. Emilio, I think, is on a lap. Benny and Cole are on a lap. 50.7 here. That's fast from Rainbow Fox. Let's see what he can put in this last sector. I want to see what he can put in because this is going to be fast here. It's a 15. It's 16. 16.3 puts him just ahead of Zach into P3. Zach and Richard have come on their outlaps. Emilio, is Emilio on a lap? He is, and he's 6 tenths up. He hasn't invalidated here. Keeps it tidy through the chicane. This is going to be a good lap. This will put him challenge him for the maybe even for the front row of the grid if Fade can't improve on his time. Here we go. Emilio towards the line here. DRS open. Tight as you can through there for 16.2. Emilio putting it on the front row. Fade was on provisional pole, and 2 storming laps by a Red Bull and a Ferrari have dethroned him from the front row. Zach's now on a lap. Oh, well, that was very close between Williams, and Zach spun. Zach spun there. Richard is now starting his flying lap. We'll follow him in the Aston Martin. Down towards turn 1. 4th gear, or maybe 5th. Very light on the throttle there. That might hinder him a little bit. 6th gear down into 4th. The optimal gear, it says on there, but 4 tenths down. Yeah, so he is going to back out of that. Black Cat now starting his flying lap here. The roar of the Alpine flying down the long pit straight towards turn 1 here. 3rd gear for Toby in there. People taking different gears through the first corner. Some taking 3rd, some taking 4th, and some taking 5th. That is very rapid through the first sector. Matching his first sector time. He is on course to match his time here. He's in the 1:16, so he's not doing too badly. As there's a Ferrari off in turn 2. That's definitely Emilio then. Well, he's got going again. Drac Millerali goes Toby. There's a AlphaTauri gone as the Mercedes has crashed. Rainbow Fox is out of qualifying, and so is Harry. But I think no, that both Mercedes have retired from the session, not thinking they can improve. 30 seconds left in the session. This will be Toby's last lap because he probably won't have enough battery to last. Towards the line now, it's 2 tenths up. P6 for Toby here. Everyone else on a new lap. Zach spun, so he's definitely not on one. Fade is 3 tenths up on his best time here. This is maybe good enough provisional pole if he can keep it tidy. Spray's retired from the session. Full throttle towards the line now. Fade, can he put on provisional pole? He can! 15.7 from Fade there. Struggs is also improving on his time. It's going to be a fight between these two for pole here. Oh, and Struggs is very squirmish through the last corner, and he goes from 15.8, 8/100ths of a second off Fade. The back end stepping out has definitely cost him the pole position there. Emilio's another 5 tenths behind. I don't think anyone's going to put in an absolutely storming lap now. Fade looks like he is going to be taking provisional pole. Yeah, Benny isn't on the lap. Toby isn't on the lap. So Fade takes pole position for Williams. 2 races running. Struggs in the Red Bull, narrowly missing out, and it's a nut, and then it's 5 tenths to Emilio in P3. These two definitely definitely improving a lot there. As we are waiting for the last few cars to cross the line. Fade definitely has taken provisional pole. Who are we waiting for? Waiting for Richard. Who are we waiting for? Are we waiting for Jimby Slims? No. Who are we waiting for then? We're not waiting for anyone. We were for Benny to enter the pit lane. Yes, we were. Fade takes provisional pole with 1:15.725. Struggs exactly 8/100ths behind. That mistake in the last section of the track has definitely cost him pole there. But another 5/10 to Emilio. 5/10 to Emilio. Rainbow Fox putting in a good lap. Again, both Alpines in 5 and 7 consistently up there. Jimby Slims and the Haas making a shot performance to P6. Richard and Benny in the Aston Martins taking 8 and 9, and George taking P10 for Williams. Harry in 11th, Jacob in 12th, Mesa in 13th, Zink 14th. Quickly, Zink, Will, Colt, Alan, and Carroll, and then Dom, who spun. That is unfortunate, Alan. That is very unfortunate. Right, as we are about to start racing here. Yeah, McLaren 1-2 incoming. Lovely, lovely stuff. Yeah, I thought you did. I saw you on the mediums, Mesa. It was really the unorthodox strategies are coming out, I can't lie. Mesa, next race. Qualify and inters, no matter what. It might be chucking it down with rain, like monsoon conditions. Qualify on inters. Then you've done everything, or even qualify. No, you might not be able to qualify on hards, but qualified every single tyre compound this season and see how well you do. Right. I don't have any facts on Imola because I just found out I'd be able to do it because stupid homework takes ages. Right, the name of the Imola, what we call Imola, is the Autodromo my phone's decided to spin around. The Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Dino Ferrari. That's it. It was in 1970. It was renamed in honour of Enzo Ferrari's son Dino, and then Enzo's own name was added to the title following his death. Michael Schumacher, the great Michael Schumacher, has the most victories here, having won 7 times between 1994 and 2006. And then, of course, since the circuit's return, only Mercedes and Red Bull have won here. With Verstappen winning in 2021 and 2022. The Formula 1 CEO, Stefano Domenicali, was born here in Imola, in the town of Imola. Have we got any good... Here we go. Here's the track length. We got a 4.909 kilometre circuit over 32 laps. Yes, 32 laps, so about 154.5 kilometres race distance. As they are about to start lining up, recommended pit stop strategy is a medium to the hard or soft medium medium. We will have a look. No. Tyres. No. Tyres. But some people on hard, some people on mediums. No soft runners. I'll get rid of this. Oh, right. Both McLarens being disqualified from qualifying. But qualifying from the race. You can see the Mercedes there. I believe that is Harry. Not trying to park his car at such an angle. Both him and George also get reset. So does Zink. In the Haas. Right, here we go. 3, 5 red lights here at Imola. It's lights out and away we go. I actually get to see the start, but I see it from the rear. Fade looks like he's got away well. Here we are. Struggs lines up right behind him. Emilio dropping down a few places. Fade into turn one we go. Tay still has the lead still from Struggs, from Rainbow Fox, from Emilio. As Fade goes wide, that gives Struggs the lead here. Rainbow Fox will have a look down the inside and takes the inside. And Emilio is all over him here. But Fade does have the inside line going into the hairpin, so we'll keep the lead. We'll keep third place from Emilio. Crazy Benny and Richard in both Aston Martins making up a few places. Toby down in last. Does he make contact? Same with both the Haas drivers. Dom in the McLaren already up to 12th here. Jacob down a few places. Colt up a few. Will up a few. Harry up a few. George up a few as well. As Struggs already 1.2 seconds through the chicane ahead of Rainbow Fox. Fade a further 5 tenths behind. Emilio trying to keep pace with the two cars in front of him. Our championship leader Mesa is currently down in 12th place. I think because Colt had made a mistake through the second sector. And Struggs will be setting the fastest lap of the race. Obviously, it's the first lap. 1.3 seconds the gap from the Mercedes of Rainbow Fox. As looks like George making a move on Richard here in the other Williams, making up a good few places as well. As Jacob coming into the pit lane, I do not know why. Has Harry made a mistake? Yeah, Harry has gone very, very wide through there, getting out of the way of the other McLaren of Carroll there, and Harry very, very nicely and very, very sportsmanlike getting out of the way of both Hasses and will hopefully quickly dispose of them. I think Jacob came into pits for a new front wing, but he is going to be there for a while. Unless there's a safety car, I don't think he is catching up anytime soon. Toby looks okay. I think he's just had a spin there. He's already right behind both Hasses there. Harry already dispatching one of the Hasses. Toby looked like he might go wide. He has to be careful with track limits, especially around that turn. But it's now 1.5 seconds. But Rainbow Fox looking like he has good race pace, because Fade not being able to... Only just... because keeping Fade at bay is Rainbow Fox. 1.5 seconds now out in front. From Rainbow Fox, from Fade. George now setting the fastest lap of the race, as he sets his sights on the other Aston Martin of Benny here. DRS has now been enabled, but you can only use it on the pit straight. Well, we're going to have a look at this the battle at the rear. Down the pit straight we go. It's Harry, then Jimby Slims, then Toby. The LP not having the best of starts. I think he may have made contact. I didn't see as we were looking at the front runners, as they go through towards, I believe, turn 4 and 5. Another swooping right, left and right hander. Towards the hairpin we go. Will Toby have a little lunge? I don't think he will. This is crucial for the Constructors' Championship, that Toby can find a way round here, as he goes side by side with the Haas and down the inside. What? Oh, and there's contact with the Haas and Toby again. That was never going to really work. I don't know how you're going to go side by side through that corner, but that has severely hindered Toby again. He's now got to be careful, because those tyres are going to be really hot. As the Zinc, as Jimmy Slims has now gone to drop back from Harry here, as Harry tries to dispatch the second Haas of Zinc. We're going to follow this through, as Fade has got past Rainbow Fox with the aid of DRS. Harry also has the aid of DRS going through, as there's a spin as George has spun. As I'm going this way for some reason. George has spun and making sure he gets out the way, as Alfa Romeo comes into picture as well. Is that... as that's also... yeah, that's a Williams. Nah. Geek Bitzer gets a penalty for colliding with Alan. Dom gets a 5-second time penalty for it. Well, that was Alan in shot there. Alan is still just vibing in the gravel trap. Yeah, Alan's just there vibing in the gravel trap. This is not how... As he is disqualified for parking in a dangerous location. Ah. Okay. Right. As we look through now, it's 3 seconds out in front between Struggs and Fade. Definitely some of the two fastest drivers on the grid currently, as now Emilio all over the back of Rainbow Fox with the help of DRS, but I think that DRS helping from as the Rainbow Fox has as well has kept Emilio at bay towards turn 1. But Emilio left in looking the faster of the two cars now, as maybe, I don't know what happened to Rainbow Fox. He had some decent race pace to keep Fade at bay, but ever since DRS has been enabled, he's been struggling a little bit here. As Carroll gets passed by the Haas of Zinc. Zinc going up into 11th place there. As I'll give you the standings thus far. Struggs is currently in the lead for Red Bull. 2.9 seconds ahead of Fade in the Williams. Rainbow Fox is in 3rd. Emilio in 4th. As there is another spin. George has spun again. Those tyres really hindering him here. He can go into the pit lane if he wants. He decides not to. He decides to try and smash the DRS sign instead. Zach getting past Richard. So is Mesa. As Richard had a spin as well. Yes, he has. He's ghosted out. I think that is a... that's after Aquaminerali, I believe. He spun Aquaminerali. As we've got a safety car. I don't know what... Dom's crashed. That's why. We have a safety car. Will some of those medium runners decide to come into the pits? But that lead that Struggs had pulled out on Fade is now going to disappear. But what happened there? Alan and Dom colliding, now both out of this race. Not by their own means. Struggs, the safety car has picked up Struggs. But Colt, Zinc and Harry, Jimby Slims as well. Does Carroll come in as well? Carroll stays out. How about Toby? Does Toby come in? No. So 10th to 14th when they were are now coming out. And they're coming out of the pit lane. Colt onto the hards. Zinc to the mediums. Harry to the hards. And Jimby Slims to the mediums. So both Hasses going onto the mediums. As Jacob comes out now, and now has to get to full race pace to try and catch them all up, because they're all going through Aquaminerali right now. As George also coming into the pits here. Excuse me. Oh, okay. George getting a new set of the medium compound tyres on. He's got to be careful because they are going through the chicane now. He's got to put some qualifying laps in if he wants to try and get anywhere near the back of the pack when the safety car comes in. Yeah, because he is 31 seconds back from Jimby Slims, who, if we go to, I think, leader, is 44 seconds back. He's a minute and a half behind. And that will need to go down very, very quickly if he wants to do it. We'll have a look at positions gained. Spray also now coming into the pits. So, Struggs up 1, Fade down 1, Rainbow Fox up 1 and Emilio down 1. Benny up 4, Zach down 1, Mesa up 6, Carroll up 9. After all the kerfuffle at the beginning. Colt also up 5, so both Alpha Tauris making up a good few places at the start. Zinc is up 2, Spray is Will's up 2. Dom is up 1 even though he crashed. But our big losers, Jimby Slims, George from 10th now is now at the back of the pack, and I don't know if he's actually going to be able to catch them up. He'll have nice warm tyres though, if he does. Yeah, Harry as well, down 5 from P11. As I think also Harry came into the pits as well, so they got to put in some race pace as Jimby Slims has caught the back of the field up. Alan, we do not say things about our father. We don't say those things about our fathers. Even though they might be true, we hold it in because they can hurt you. He unplugged your wheel. Ah. Why? What? Why? Right. Interview with Chet. That is, yeah, that's a bit harsh. My parents just tell me to shut up. Right. Right, can we not with the language, please? We're going to have another lap under the safety car, so George is going to get hit in the back of the pack as well. So, 17 cars still here. One being disqualified because unplugging wheel go burr. And another one because he wanted to meet barrier. So, George is now has lined up the back of the pack. I'm assuming we'll be going racing at some point. Well, let's go. Let's go on board with our race leader. Pardon me. Tyre ages, of course. That's not the right one. Tyre, there we go. Most people, the top 10 haven't pitted. Toby's back up to 10th, I've just realised. Yeah, most people haven't pitted for new, the top 10 haven't pitted for new tyres. Right, just to let you know, if you want me to show any particular telemetry, just let me know and I will do that. Safety car is in this lap, so but the virtual Burt Mylander now pulls away from Struggs. Struggs becoming the de facto safety car now. He's got to be careful of Fade here, because those two have a bit of a rivalry, I think, in another league, and I think we're gonna like it. Struggs making sure the safety car can get away as he's still going. Let's see what happens. Fade not even gonna start doing anything, as I think Struggs is now away. Aston Martin's having a bit of a tussle here. Oh, there's a big crash! There's a big crash! I saw the Aston Martins going side by side. That was just never going to end well. What the hell has happened there? Mesa is out. Benny is out. Rainbow Fox is out. Cole, I think, and Cole has had a few problems as well. What the hell just happened there? The massive shunt on the restart. Struggs with an unorthodox restart, and it's just caught 3 people napping. I don't know what happened there. We're going to just check positions gain now. Carroll now in 5th place after all of that ruckus. Richard is up in 4th. Spray in 7th. Zink in 8th. Jacob's now gone up to up here now. Emilio's had a spin. He's now down in 9th. So from an alright race, Harry's lost his front wing as well. So Harry will be coming into the pits. Anything happened to Toby? No. Anything to George? George and Colt in the remaining AlphaTauri now having a tussle here. Looking, going around the outside. George now hiding behind Colt there, pulling out to the left hand side. Colt has forced to the inside. Colt trying to push George off the track and pushing him wide. No contact there. Fair play. It might have been a bit aggressive from Colt there to try and push him out. but no contact. Oh, and George nearly running into the back of Colt, did he? Because Colt went wide and George is now up ahead of Colt. George up into P11 now. Yeah, but Struggs has kept the lead from Fade here. 9/10 of a second between the two now. 4 seconds ahead of Richard. Doing very, very well. Putting the pressure on all the other drivers. To prove to their team principals that they have what it takes to match these two. They are putting, yeah. Putting everything in the back of the team principal's mind. Going, oh yeah. We know what we're doing. We are good at this. We're good at league racing. As now Toby and Cole having a little bit of a tussle. Coming out towards Toby now. Oh, as Colt comes into the pit lane. I don't know why. Colt then gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So Toby's now up into 12th. After the first lap shenanigans. As there is now a big fight between that and Alfa Romeo. There are two Hasses, an Alpine, a Ferrari and a Red Bull. Emilio down the inside. That's an impressive move there. And now, and Jacob managing to sneak in as well. Ahead of, that is Jimby Slims. Emilio now trying to get ahead of Zink here. We're going to go on board with Emilio down the inside. Making sure he gets enough. Good move from Emilio here. Overtaking Masterclass. Emilio, as that is Spray going wide through Aqua Minerale. And Jacob has also passed the Hass of Zink here. So this might be a little battle between Jacob and... I think it is. We've got a spinning... I believe that's... Is that a spinning Mercedes? Let me think. It is a spinning Mercedes. At 1.3 seconds the gap now out in front between Struggs and Fade. And a further 5 seconds to Richard. Zach 1.2 seconds behind here. Carroll up 13 places to P5. He must be loving life. McLaren and maybe getting good points here. George now making his way through both Hasses here. Jimmy Zink might try to fight back against George, but George now back up to where he started to his qualifying place of P10. Overtaking galore here. When we actually hit a circuit track, the racing just gets so much better. And Zink still trying to go round George here. Zink not giving up this fight just yet. As we will go towards Emilio, who is now quickly catching the Alfa Romeo of Will here. This is a battle for P6. Emilio started 3rd, remember. So he wants to try and get as many places as he can for Ferrari. The only Ferrari driver here. But they need to be wary of Jacob, who'll be going around as Zink goes very, very wide out of the chicane. Well, does Will have DRS on Carroll? No, he doesn't. As there's a yellow flag in Sector 3. I don't know why. That looks like Jacob. As Jacob had Jacob spun. I did not realise that as I was looking towards this. There's now DRS wide open for Emilio. Looking to go round the outside towards turn 1. Round the outside. No contact made. Mate has the inside for turn 2. Good move by Emilio here. But Will not ready to give this up. Maybe carrying more speed through those two corners. Maybe having a look for the inside. No. Has to give the place up to Emilio here. Emilio showing off his overtaking skill as he now looks towards the McLaren of Carroll, 1.5 seconds up the road. But now Will has been left a crop of two Hasses and a Williams. Jimby Slims with an impressive qualifying wants to show off his race pace as well. Of course, racing in season 1 for McLaren did he have? As Spray gets a penalty for track limits and Jimmy Slims gets a penalty for corner cutting, I will go to tyres again. That's not tyres. There we go. I'm going to get rid of this as well. But George has now got ahead of both Hasses and Will is still in 7th. We're going to have a look at this. We're going to go on board with George here. His ban being lifted because the stewards deemed it a bit too harsh. He does have DRS against Will, but Will might have had DRS against Emilio. Yeah, so George a lot faster. Make sure he has inside track limits. Remember, Will does have a penalty for track limits. George looks like a lot faster. Harry getting a penalty for track limits now as well. Caught with his 5-second penalty. George looks a lot faster. Might look down the inside there if he could just keep the back end intact. Through Ackerman O'Reilly we go. If George can just get enough traction through here, he might have a go lunge down the inside into the chicane. Make sure he doesn't run into the back end of Will here. But George all over the back of Will as he maybe goes round the outside. Wow. Baby even makes it done before the corner. Will make a last minute lunge. George gives him that room. But Richard now goes into pit lane and gets done for speeding. Naughty, naughty. Carroll also coming into the pits as well. As we look now, the two Hasses having a little bit of a squabble. One moving one way, moving the other. Jimby Slims, Zink managed to getting past Jimby Slims. The two Hasses having a little squabble here, making good racing. They've got to be careful. Hard tyres for both the McLaren and the Aston Martin. Alright, Swallow-Billis. As Jimby Slims is let past by Zink again. As the Alpine of Toby is now eyeing up the rear end of Zink. That does sound a bit weird, but we're going to go with it. I'm not even going to bother. Right. It's now 9/10 of a second between Struggs and Fade. Does Fade have DRS? He doesn't. So he's just managed to get there at pure pace. This is going to be a good little scrap here. Zach coming into the pits now. Same with Emilio. It is the hard compound tyres. Singh gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Speeding in the pit lane. So Toby got DRS for that straight. But no one there for it. Jimby Slims now looking at Will. Will still holding the Hasses at bay. Will just enough pace, eking at the pace of those medium tyres just to keep that Hass at bay. Zach coming out in 8th. Emilio coming out in 10th. I believe Zach has got the overcut on Richard here. And has managed to get past the Aston Martin. Correct me if I am wrong. Oh, only. Oh, jeez. Harry gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane on top of his other penalty for track limits. As Jimby Slims cutting Will off at the chicane. Finally getting past him. And does that let the Alpine through as well? Jacob getting a penalty for track limits as the Alpine of Toby getting ahead of Will as well. The stout defence of Will is just not enough. As Toby comes into the pits now with Will. So it's now it's hovering around that second mark between the two leaders out in front, who are a whole 18 seconds ahead of third place man George, who's going to be out there maybe for just a few more laps. Well, what battles have we got? We've got, that is Emilio and Rich. No, that is Richard and Zach. We'll go on board with the Aston Martin. No pressure. And let's see what he can do to indent that 7, 8, 10, the 8/10 of a second gap that Zach has over him. and see if he can indent that at all. See where Richard is faster in comparison to Zach. Oh, it looks like Zach is definitely the faster one in the first two sectors. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. I don't know who that is. That's Zink getting a penalty for track limits. I don't know who that is that had a bit of a moment in sector 3. It all looks okay. Oh, it looks like a Merc. It's Harry. He's crashed. Oh. I don't know where I see that. But so both Mercedes out. Joe Baker not loving that, eh? No, I shouldn't. Yeah. Yeah. The Mercedes team principal probably going to be having a little go at the... having a go at them. Oh! Wow. Okay, so that gap's still hovering around as there's another, as Will I think has made a mistake. He's spun. There's an AlphaTauri there. You don't want to be doing that. The AlphaTauri of Colt now gets through, goes up into P12. He's still got over half the grid as Fade now comes in the pits, trying to undercut on Struggs here. Struggs now going to have to put in the lap time of his life here. You can see him now just using that overtake button. We're going to put the telemetry on just to see if he's going to be using that overtake. He is trying to give himself much of a gap as possible. Jimmy Slims is now in second for Haas. Some reason. Yeah, Will getting out of the way for there as George comes into the pits, and so does Jacob for new tyres. And what will it be? Will it be? Who will come out in the lead? Will it be Struggs or will it be Fade here? We'll have to wait and see. Struggs will definitely be coming in this lap. Yes, he is. Let's see. Fade's now coming round. Through the chicane goes Fade. And now Struggs is now going down the pit lane. Fade is coming down to the last few corners here. I don't know how many kilometres an hour it is. I think it's 50 miles an hour. It's going down. It's going to be close here. Full throttle. Here he comes. Can we see Fade round? There's Fade. But now accelerating down towards turn 1. Struggs stays ahead of Fade. A little pit lane scrap as well. Zach now entering third place. Emilio setting the fastest lap of the race as well. On his hunt for a Richard and Zach. Emilio on the hunt now. Showing his overtaking prowess throughout this race. And I know, and will he do it again to Richard and Zach? We will have a look at the number of position changes. The overall winners at this point in the race go to KFC, Carol on moving up 9 places. Then Richard, George and Colt all went up 4. And then I think that's Zach up 2. Jacob up 2. And Will up 2. The big winners there. Oh. Right. Oh, and now it's 0.4 of a second. Will Fade having DRS? Didn't realise. Struggs struggling to get those medium tyres warmed up. Fade looks much stronger on those mediums. And 11 tenths from the field. This just feels like a Hamilton-Verstappen fight here. Fade putting in a purple first sector. He is all over Struggs here. Struggs now putting under a lot of pressure. He hasn't had that much pressure in the first stint. He's always had the second buffer over Fade here. But Fade now coming into his own on those medium compound tyres. We'll put the interval gap up. No, we'll put we'll put interval gap up. Half a second now. Fade might have a look at Struggs here. If Struggs hasn't got those tyres warmed up, we'll know. We'll go on board with the Williams driver. As we go round the final corner we go. DRS open. Struggs, but Struggs taking him a fastest lap in response. But now gaining 4 tenths, 3 tenths. Is he close enough? As they go into the braking zone, not close enough. But Struggs having to put in the fastest lap of the race by some margin just to try and keep up. To stop Struggs overtaking. But what a move. As Emilio now gets past Richard as they go into turns 1 and 2. Round the outside goes Emilio. Good move by Emilio there. But I don't think Richard's going to be done here. But Richard has to stay behind. F1 cars are so scary and fast. Well, really? I didn't know that. Well, now it is going to be a tussle for the next 10 laps, I think, between Fade and Struggs. Fade going a little wide there. Going to get a warning for track limits, probably. As George, speaking of track limits, does get a penalty for track limits. But Struggs now looking a lot faster than Fade here, putting a little bit of a gap. But Fade still in DRS range, so we'll get that rear wing open. Yeah, Struggs 17.9, fastest lap of the race. But Fade, mate, using that DRS just get within half a second, but then Struggs is just so much faster overall. I hope to see this later on in the season. I think Fade is a permanent Williams driver in Tier 1. Struggs only the AlphaTauri reserve, reserving for Red Bull for today, as the reigning drivers champion James could not make it. But the current championship leader Mesa out of this race, so we might get a new championship leader. But then Benny, who was the championship leader after the first race, is also out. So what will happen here? So we go into the chicane. Half a second separates the two drivers. Fade maybe looking a little faster in this lap. We'll go on board again. They're pulling good lap time on Zach here, who's in third. Zach just chilling a little bit, but have to be careful of Emilio in third place there. DRS open for Fade here, but he's getting under half a second now. 4 tenths, but just way too far back. As there's been a McLaren off. That is Carroll there, spinning in the chicane. As he spins again and loses his front wing. Those rear tyres just not loving life at the moment. That's after Aquaman Raleigh. Colt gets ahead, goes up into P11 after that. Will most likely will as well. As Carroll just can't get his car in a straight line. I should be laughing. Carroll just can't get the car in a straight line. As now the leaders are coming through, coming towards Aquaman Raleigh now. Can Carroll actually stick it in a straight line? No, he can't. He can't. Both of them evade it. But that is dangerous from both Fade and Struggs. Yeah. Carroll just can't. He finally gets going again. It was quite funny. But Fade severely hindered. 1.7 seconds now behind. But that was just Carroll severely hindering Fade's race here. And I do feel bad for the Williams driver, had nowhere else to go apart from off track, and that's lost him about 0.8 of a second. To a second. That is really bad. Well, he might have touched a no-no curb, but is he still... He's got no front wing. Brother's got continued on with no front wing. What is going on? He goes wide. Obviously, to the hairpin we go. Zach now coming. Zach, Emilio, Richard and George coming round. Carroll just now loving life with no front wing. Full throttle. Goes... Manages to keep it on track. But will definitely be... It definitely has to pit, surely. What's going on? But it was quite funny how Fade no, not Fade. As he goes straight on and nearly spins again, has to be wary of Richard and George. Gets out of the way for both of them. You did, but you had spun. I don't want to go on. Carroll, please go into the pits. Thank you. As now it's 1.4 seconds. Fade getting 3/10 on Struggs here, and a few tenths on Struggs. So Fade isn't necessarily out of it yet. He's still got pace in that Williams and on those medium tyres. Yeah, but somehow I... Oh, you had an incident. It was a bit of an incident. Oh, damn. Oh, well, yeah, I saw you just lying there, and then when you went, I'm assuming when you went no and tried to get back, your dad then unplugged it, and you just stood there in the middle of the track, and it then disqualified you for parking in a dangerous location. Yeah. 1.5 seconds separates our leading two, with another 21 seconds. 21 to our season 1 runner-up, Zackus, the big man Zach, as Carroll spins again. That's... He's been disqualified. Oh. Oh. Oh, that is unfortunate. Both McLarens now out of this race. As now Fade now within a second. Struggs, I think, may have made a mistake, but now back with the DRS Strangers spray. Has Struggs made a little error here that has put Fade back in the hunt. As George now alongside Richard towards the fast left-hander. George getting ahead of Richard here. George showing his prowess here at Imola. Williams 2 and 5th, 2nd and 5th at the moment. Really good for their constructors fight. Good points. As Jacob gets yet another penalty for track limits. Go, love him. Runner-up is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence. Okay, as right, about 5 laps left here. But Emilio all over the back of Zach here. Looks to go around the outside, but Zach parking that Alpine in the best possible position. And that might leave him... oh, that's Colt. Never mind, I thought that was George, but George is another 5 seconds down the road. I thought that had left him... You left easy pickings for George in the Williams, but no. He's too far behind. He's scrapping away with Richard. As towards yeah, Jacob and Jimby Slims now, both with penalties. Jacob going down the inside, I should say. Around the hairpin, still side by side. As they go up towards the left-hander. Jimby Slim's looking like he is just ahead. Yeah, and Jacob having to go back as someone else has spun. That is that Spray? That is Spray getting out of the way. And Colt now taking 11th place. Both cars have been lapped. And they've both been lapped, I believe, but they haven't been lapped by Toby yet. But I don't think they'll be getting points, unfortunately. Yeah, Carol, that was a bit peak, I can't lie. But can I just ask, Carol, can I just ask about the pirouettes you were doing after Aquaman as Emilio, I believe, has got past. Zach here. Zach now trying to use the slipstream, maybe have a look into the second S. No. As Jacob does get past Jimby Slims as well, up into 7th place. So with 4 laps left, just under, we go back to be 3 laps, just over 3 laps left. As we will, I think this battle here for 3rd and 4th is going to look little bit tasty. Same with 11th and 12th, just little scraps going on here and there now. Struggs and Fade are just long gone. 27 seconds now. DRS now for Zackus, but has got 8 tenths to gain here. Gaining, but not gaining fast enough. But I see a little scrap going on between an Alpine and a Haas. Toby in the Alpine in the first lap incident, and now trying to fight for P9 here. Alongside Zinc here, past Zinc. Using DRS so much faster in a straight line is Toby, and goes up into 9th place. Zach still, Drac Minerali we go. Zach still within 1 second. He's got 2 laps. Have little to no battery left for him. He wants to probably charge that up a little bit so he can put a last lap attack on Emilio here, but he's struggling to keep within that 1 second. As we go into lap 31, the penultimate lap here, Fade and Strug still duking out, but Fade, crucially, gets a penalty for track limits. That looks like his hopes are dashed here. Unless Struggs can get a penalty, unless Struggs gets a penalty as well. As there's an incident in Sector 1 with Colt spinning. He's already a lap down. He might even get lapped again if he can't sort it out. Now gets lapped by Jacob and Jimby Slims. Okay, 1.2 seconds now. The physical gap. But with the penalties added on it, it was more like 4 seconds, and that just seems impossible as we enter the final lap of the race here at Imola. We go into the shame. We'll follow this scrap between Zach and Emilio. One of the very last clean drivers without a track limits penalty, or any penalty for that matter. As there's an incident, is that Fade? That is Fade. Fade on the last lap spinning, but that won't do anyone any good. That doesn't help anyone at all. Emilio's still on that pit straight. As Zach, overtake button. It's like DRS open, but just nowhere close enough. Unless Emilio makes a mistake, Zach isn't going to get that podium. But now, that gap is a lot closer. 19 seconds. That is a lot closer. It's more like 9 seconds now. It's 22 seconds now. Struggs can now take it easy. His rival from this race is long gone after a mistake. No, he spun on the penultimate lap last time. But Struggs, on his debut for Tier 1, for Red Bull, wins the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Yes. The unbiased yes. Fade looks like he will keep second place from Emilio. He's 7 seconds down the road. He should be okay. He nearly spins again, but I think he will be okay. He takes second place after a very, very good fight with Struggs at the front. Emilio rounds off the podium to take third. Zach fourth. George fifth. Richard, another 5 seconds down the road, takes sixth place. Jacob takes seventh for Red Bull. Jimby Slims, after penalties, will now retake seventh place off Jacob. Toby, the last driver to cross. Toby takes ninth for Alpine, and Zink rounding off the points for Haas. If he could taking a sweet damn time. Zink takes the last points place for Haas. Well done, everyone. Driver of the day is Jacob. I don't believe that for a split second. What? What? I'm kidding. Well done, Jacob. But this is the one we're talking. This is the Red Bull driver we're talking about. Struggs in his debut for Tier 1, reserving for Red Bull. Standing there on the top step of the podium. Come on. Yeah, well done, everyone. That was a lot, but much better race than last time. I do apologise to my own driver for making fun of him live on stream, but I mean, why did that sound like something out of like one of those claim adverts? Yes, been an accident that wasn't your fault. Struggs does take the win and the fastest lap, so he doesn't take the Grand Slam because Fade did get pole position. But yeah, just look at that. Whole seconds faster per lap. Struggs takes the win. Fade second, Emilio third, Zach fourth, George fifth, Richard sixth, Jimby seventh, Jacob eighth, Toby 9th, Zink 10th, Will 11th, Colt 12th, Harry 13th, Rainbow Fox in 14th, I believe it was Benny 15th, Mason 16th, Dom 17th, Carol 18th, Alan in 19th. Right. Right then. Where's my phone? You got P13 actually. No, I don't believe you do. You got P18 according to the official results. Stop lying. And as a last reminder, if right, I was going, oh yeah, perfectly fine. Yeah, to be fair, yeah, that was a bit that's some BS. I can't lie. We did hit 50, and now we're on 49 again. Who unfollowed? Who's been a funny man and unfollowed when we were on 50? Who's been a funny man? Right. Interviews, anyone? Interviews? I don't mind. If you don't want to, that is perfectly fine. But yeah. Strugs, Fade, Emilio, if you want to hop into the multiplayer. No, Jack, no. Did you race? I'm sorry, did you race today? And I just no, it's top 3 only, George. Oh. Ah, okay. Have we got people in multiplayer? You'll give me some cash. I'm being right. I've just been bribed live on stream. Multiplayer VC if you're in here, Emilio. Right, if Strugs and Thingy want to do the same. Right, interviews, join. No, that is not how you spell join. Join. I've gone really quiet, have I? Oh, sorry. I accidentally reduced the volume of my mic. My bad. Join multiplayer VC. There we go. Bosh. Right. Alright, I'll give it a few minutes. And if it's only Emilio, we will we'll interview someone else. And it will be a driver, Jack, not a team principal. Actually, no, scratch that. No, never mind. I might do team principal, and I might interview myself. No, that's going to be sad. That'll be sad to watch. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Not doing it to myself. Not interviewing myself because that'd be a bit weird. Right. 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 Yeah. Okay. Right, I think we got Strugs and we've got Emilio. If Fade if you want to do it, if you're in stream, if you're in stream, if you're in chat, if you want to just hop in, because I'm going to do it now. All right, I'm going to start interviews now. So here we go. Here we go. I might do someone else. I might do a few more. I might do some team principals if they're willing. And Jack is very willing, so I might just do Jack for the meme. Hello, hello. Right. We'll start off with the race winner. Congratulations on debut, might I add as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know you've been league racing for a while now in other leagues, not just this one. So even though you've had many a win, how does it feel to get a win in a new league?
was great. It was tense though. You know, I race with Fader every week, so I know how quick he is. So it would be a battle with him. But I'm happy how it turned out. Yeah, just stressful, man. Qualifying didn't go well. Like the final lap, I bottled the final corner, and there was someone who had span at the start of the lap, and that kind of put me off for the whole lap. You know, I don't know if you guys know what I mean, but when something just sets you off at the start of the lap, and you just know it's not going to go well. So, and as soon as I saw Faders on pole, I knew it was going to be a difficult race. But the most stressful part was I was on a final warning for a penalty for about 25 laps of the race.
Oh.
So I was having to drive on eggshells whilst trying to keep Fade out of the DRS, which wasn't fun. I would say relief is the feeling more than anything.
Yeah, I think that relief must have like quadrupled when you saw that he got a penalty for track limits. That must have been a really really good thing, wasn't it?
I knew it was over then, you know, like, because I would have had to add a colossal mistake at that point, so I just brought it home, and then when he had a spin, I think, like a few corners later, and I knew, obviously, then it was over, but yeah, no, it was a good race. I mean, Imola's a very, very strong track for me, so, like, I was always knowing coming into it that, you know, I'd have a good shot at it, but it's a very, very strong track for me. In another league we raced in, we had a race at Imola not too long ago, so we put in a lot of practice into it, so it's kind of like, for me, it was just, you know, I'd already put in a few weeks of practice, so I knew what to expect.
Yeah, okay. Like, yeah, you talked about practice and stuff, but I think it can get to. I think nerves can play a part in anything. I think how many butterflies was going through your stomach during that entire thing, especially during those last few laps when like DRS just crept back in.
For me, I've done it enough now that I don't really get like that. It was just extreme focus. Just extreme focus, like just focus and everything. Focus one corner at a time. You know, because at that point, mistake would have been fatal. Because before Fade got his 3 seconds, like I said, I was on a final warning, so one mistake and it all would have come undone. So it was just extreme focus. You can't think about anything else. You know, extreme focus. Look at the delta. Make sure that you're staying out of DRS, and then. You can't, if you think about it too much, then you get the butterflies and stuff, you know, but you can't, you've just got to take it one corner at a time.
Yeah, I mean, that is great words to go by, especially if you're, especially if you're leading a race and you don't want to lose it in the last section, in the last
few. I have been there. My first ever league race, I won. Don't worry, I was panicking for about the last 15 laps, so I know how it feels.
Yeah. Well, congratulations again for your first win in CFRL, and we go to our second place man.
I just want to say I was hired as a reserve driver, you know, so I came to do the job.
Yeah, I think you delivered for me, as if I speak on as a team principal, and you've been delivering in tier 2 for my brother as well, who's the AlphaTauri team principal. Bit of a coincidence. Yeah, so you've been mightily impressive, and hopefully you will continue to impress everyone as the races go by.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll do our best.
Yeah, thank you. We'll go to second place man Fade now. How I think it was very, very close between you and Struggs there. How devastated were you, first of all, to receive that track limits penalty, and then secondly to spin on the final lap?
I was pretty much going cautious around the whole track for the last, I'd say 20 laps. I got my second track limits warning around lap, it was lap 11 or lap 12, I reckon around it was. So, yeah, the last 20 to 25 laps, I was just trying to stay away from the track limits, and when I got to the last couple of laps, I was thinking about Baku, where I spun in the lead, and I kind of got him ahead and I spun again. And then then I was worrying about the 3-second penalty I got at the end with the gap to Emilia. So I just cruised really until the finish line on the last lap to make sure I didn't spin again or get another penalty. But the pace was good throughout the whole race really. I was like staying with Strugs pretty much the whole race. We were like so close on pace I just couldn't get into the DRS. And ERS just doesn't regenerate around this track either, so yeah, it was hard.
I think you're probably you're very gutted after the first Baku spinning on the penultimate lap, and I do apologise because I think the commentator's curse had something to do with that. And now you spun there and got the penalty, so luck hasn't been on your side, but I think the pace is definitely there. And I think, hold on, let me just quickly check what the next race is. It is France. So if we look on towards France, how is that looking for you?
Well, me and Strokes done a 100% league race around there 2 days ago to be exact. Pace is very strong there. Track limits ain't that strong for me though, because I got 24 seconds of penalties in the last time I raced there.
He is very quick at France. He and I are teammates, so he is very quick at France.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a stronger track for you than Imola.
Yeah, I wasn't even expecting to be that quick at Imola.
Oh, okay.
So I was surprised.
Yeah, it was a nice surprise, not a bad surprise when you end up crapping yourself or something. Don't ask why I made that joke, but here we are. So yeah, congratulations for your P2, and I hope to see you on that top step sooner rather than later.
Yep, thank you.
Right, now we go to another race winner here in the CFRL, Emilio. How you qualified P3, I believe, and I think your pace was consistent throughout the race, and you displayed some of your masterful overtaking ability to me and to everyone watching. So how did you feel after that race?
Yeah, first of all, amazing to be back on the podium, my first of the season, and like I said, I felt like I was very consistent, and I felt like if I didn't have my spin on lap 9, which drove me from 3rd to 9th or 10th, I think I could have been in the mix for the win, because, like I said, I had a very good pace. Imola is also a very strong track for me personally, and for example, when I was gaining on then 4th and 3rd, I was actually quick. I set the fastest lap at one point on the hard tires, and I think in previous races I always had this habit of where I do for a while good laps, but then I bottle at one point. But this time I felt like I was doing good laps consistently without mistakes. That spin on lap 9 was the only mistake that I had this race. I felt like I really stepped up this race, and in qualifying, like with Strugs, I bottled the final lap, and even though I got P3, I felt like I could have been in contention for pole position, because I could have set a similar time to the pole sitter, and and race pace, it was very good, and when I was fighting with Zarkis for P3, I always knew that I had to make the most of it, and I had to go on the limit, but at the same time be cautious with the track limit, because in practice I had a lot of times where I went over the limit, and I also know I can also look at where I gained the most on him. For example, when I was fighting with Zarkis, I felt I was gaining the most in terms the two fast right-handers that get into sector 2, that's how I was gaining the most. And overall, probably my best race been that win in Mexico in season 1. And I've had a stronger start to the season, apart from Australia, I had actually a very decent start to the season. Then there I got no points on Australia, but then I got fifth in Baku, although I was jumping up and down the order all the time, and a P3 here, and also my qualifying's actually been very good. Like in these 3 races, I've got 2 P2s and a P3, so I felt like I've stepped up at the start of the season compared to last season. I hope I can continue that form going forward to the next race.
Yeah, I think you've answered every single question that I was going to say in that one. So I don't think I need to. I'm not complaining or anything, but yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not complaining. But you've answered all the questions that I think I had. So again, congratulations. Nice to see you back on the podium, and hopefully, like you said, you'll be challenging for those race wins eventually.
Yeah, because like I said before, if I didn't have that spin at the safety car race, I probably could have been in the mix for the win with Bate and Struggs. Because I felt like at the start before the safety car, I was keeping up with them. Like I wasn't like all like consistently quicker than them, but I was able to keep up. So I felt like if I didn't have that spin, I could have been in the contention, but still, qualified third, finished third. Yeah, can't really complain with the podium. Especially with the fact that I dropped down and had to go up.
Yeah. But if you didn't drop down, we wouldn't be able to see your masterful overtaking, and that is something I think a highlight of this race.
Yeah, I think if I remember one overtake I did very well was I can't remember which lap it was, but I was behind 2 Hasses, and then I overtook 1 Hass at the second chicane, and then overtook the second Hass at the next corner.
Yeah.
And also I did also some I did overtakes for P4, P3 around the outside of turn 1. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well done to our podium sitters, and I hope to see you or hope to be talking to you next week or in the weeks to come. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
So that's the interviews done. If this actually disconnects, there we go. That's the interviews done. I hope to see everyone in the future. Hope to see everyone on Thursday for Tier 2. I believe Struggs will be there again, along with Corey. Let's have a look who we might be seeing in Tier 2 on Thursday. We have got Calpol, we got Jack, Struggs, Lemon, Corey, and that's all. We have the 5 at the moment. So I hope to see you then. Hope you can tune in. Same time, same place, just on Thursday. It's been nice to be commentating. Nice to be commentating Tier 1 again. But hopefully I won't be doing it as consistently, because I actually want to play rugby at some point. But it's a pleasant surprise for you when I'm able to. So you've got that. So I'll be seeing you on Thursday. And until then, have a good rest of the week. Goodbye.